Just a quick thing here on diversity is our strength. No, diversity's cool, but no, diversity's not really our strength. Diversity can be a major weakness. Like, look at it like this. The fact of the matter is most of human civilization, we've been with our tribe, and there's been good reason for that. Now, I'm not saying that tribalism in general is a good thing, but I'm saying, look, for most of human civilization, we've been with people who are like us. That's actually been our strength as human beings for much longer than the idea of like blending of cultures and what's the word, assimilation of different ethnicities or nationalities, and the blending in the Western free world that people want to be in. I'm all for all kinds of diversity. I love diversity. I love people of different walks of life, from different places with different views. But, and this is a but, and it's a big but, you always have to keep considering the fact that like people are different, and that's not always a strength. Sometimes it's a major clash. And when the major clash comes to your door on major issues that can literally put your country, your land, your political sphere, your whole system in jeopardy, well, there's a problem there, right? So it can be a divisive thing that is destructive in nature. So diversity is our strength is like an Orwellian fucking backwards world way of looking at things, because even though it's like double speak, even though the words sound good and like they can be interpreted as true, like they can be, that sounds true. Diversity is our strength. That sounds pretty damn good. Sounds pretty true. But if you flip that and you think about it from a perspective of double speak, in terms of meanings, because that can mean a lot of different things. And if people are only looking at it from one perspective of what it means, but they're not looking at it from a different perspective of what it means, that's where you end up in a fucking dystopian world where people don't know what's up and what's down, because it's all backwards. And that's an easy tool that authoritarians and people who are literally masters of psychological manipulation, that's how they get everybody to just be basically like fucking non-player characters, like idiots, like walking around not thinking for themselves. Like, I stand with Ukraine, I stand with Israel, or I stand with Palestine. Like it doesn't matter. Like, that's what I'm trying to get across here, is like people gotta think a lot bigger. And right now I wouldn't be so confident in what's going on in the Western world when it comes to this support for Palestine. And it's not because I would rather see them support Israel. It's not about that at all. It's about the very dangerous clash of ideologies that is now knocking on our doorstep with quite a big amount of power and force and influence. And yet, most of these people that are out there, I support Palestine, they don't have a fucking clue of some of the really horrible aspects, or they refuse to look at them, or they just point the finger at the other side and say, yeah, but it's justified because, yeah, but, you know. But that's bringing terrorism to our doorstep. That's literally bringing ideologies to our doorstep and making it normal and acceptable and actually cheered on, when us in the West would never fucking put up with that shit. That's just not something that we should be putting up with. So I think that people, regardless of where they stand on this Palestine-Israel thing, and regardless of what their thoughts and beliefs are, and regardless of what all the fucking evidence is, people need to understand that Fuck, man, it's so hard to keep track of my thoughts, but people need to understand that this is a way to mind fuck you too. I don't think that's what I was trying to say, but I don't know. Maybe you get it. Maybe it'll come back to me later. Diversity is not always our strength. When we have terrorist ideology that can be defended. Oh yeah, I think that's where I was going. I think ultimately we all need to actually, regardless of where we stand, we need to condemn what happened. We don't need to justify it. We don't need to justify the killing of Jewish people at all. And even for the people that have found out, oh well, Mossad created it, or the Hamas or whatever. Well, obviously they're not still in control of Hamas. And then, oh well, you know, there's no way that they got into their territory. That's like a 9/11. I believe you. It's not. It is like a 9/11 thing. There's no way that they got through. However, that doesn't mean that. Okay, when that happened, there were people in the streets waving Palestinian flags, saying "Gas the Jews," and that was before. That was before the retaliation from Israel. So this is what I'm talking about dangerous place we're in where you will defend terrorists because you're like, oh, well, it's not fair what's happened to them. If you land there, you need to check yourself, because we could sit there and debate about what's fair and what's not fair and what's what around that situation. But we cannot be like cool with the terrorist mentality being the okay spot to land on right now. You get what I'm saying? People are landing on the side of defending terrorists. People who kill people because they want to wipe them off the face of the earth. Sorry, let's end it. Let's stop there. Full stop. Until every person actually condemns that, we ain't talking anymore. We're not communicating anymore. Now we're in trouble in the West. Now we're in trouble. If that's where we're at, in blanket support of Palestine, oh, because of all their troubles and, you know, oh, they're this, they're that, and Israel's this and that. Well, I'm sorry, but the people running Palestine, they're not good people. They're terrorists. So what do we do about that problem before we talk about the bigger problems? If we can't agree that we need to end the terrorist problem in the Middle East, and especially in that area, but you know, the terrorist organizations, if we can't agree that those people are bad and we're not on their side and that we don't support them, we condemn their actions 100% wholly, the West is doomed. The West is doomed. And if you live in the West, which you do because you're listening to this, don't be a fucking idiot. Like, hello. Okay, so nuance, okay? Just like you saw in that thing going around with the person waving that thing, trying to hypnotize, you know, with the COVID virus and, you know, with Ukraine and with the climate thing, and then there's the one with the Israel flag. Well, the same thing could be said about the Palestinian flag, really. That's being waved in front of the public's face, and they're falling for it because, you know why? Because poor Palestine. They're the freedom fighters. They're up against the powerful Jews, and that's the justification people are using right now to back terrorism. Oh, those Jews, those powerful Jews, and we got these fucking freedom fighters of Palestine. They have nothing. They have no army. They're, you know, they got their rifle, but you know, oh, you know, let's just, oh God. See, people are falling for the mind fucking and the brainwashing on both sides.